Welcome to the Wavetronics manufacturing line. We're excited to have you join us as we go through kind of what makes us tick here at Wavetronics and kind of a little behind the scenes on our manufacturing process. Here we're at the beginning of our manufacturing process, and this is where all of the raw materials are put together and we start creating all of our devices, all of our sensors. And so here behind me you can see we actually have 3 SMT lines, or surface mount technology lines. Now this is where the RF boards originally get placed and go through a process to basically end as your smart sensor or your new Xpanse sensor. The 3 SMT lines are actually really cool too, because it allows us, especially with all of our new Xpanse lineup of sensors and devices, it allows us to get everything through and shipped out the door without having any issues with bottleneck or anything like that. And so this is basically the beginning of our manufacturing process, and we'll continue from here.
Okay, so we are now at the conformal coating machine. At this point in the process, all the components have been placed and soldered, and now it's going to be sprayed or coated with acrylic on both the top and bottom. We do this to make sure that no impurities or elements get inside the electronic components. Something cool about this machine is that it's actually specifically made for Wavetronic. It's the only one in the country that actually flips the board internally, so the board gets coated on the top and bottom before it even leaves. And after it leaves, we check it with a UV light to make sure that all the components that don't need acrylic didn't get sprayed with acrylic. And then it moves on in the process.
So once our RF boards have gone through the surface mount technology line, everything's been soldered on, they've gone through the conformal coating process, they are now brought here to our Wavetronics climate control testing chambers. We bring all these boards into these chambers. We can fit more than 20 in at a time, and we actually test them for a period of 3 days, fluctuating the temperatures below freezing to over 80 degrees Celsius. So by the time your device boards are actually tested through here and finish the process, this is how you can come to expect the reliability and quality that you come to expect with Wavetronics. And so the boards are placed in the chambers. After 3 days, they fluctuate through those temperatures. They are then taken out, and then we bring them to the next step of the process, which is the anechoic chamber.
We are now at the anechoic chamber, or echo chamber. This is where we make sure all of our sensors are properly calibrated. And we do this by mounting a sensor on a metal bracket in here that actually spins inside of this chamber and sends its radar beams to a receiver in the back. And with that, we get all this data, and we look at the data to make sure it's normal, and if it's not, we test it again or recalibrate it to make sure that the sensor is working properly for you, our customers.
So once all of our RF boards are done testing in the anechoic chambers, they're actually brought to our shipping here, and they're actually packaged and processed, and everything's ready to go to ship out the door to you, the customer.
Now there are a lot of moving parts, and we are so excited that we got to show you a brief little inside look of what we do here on our manufacturing floor. And we're so excited that you get to learn more about Wavetronics.